a lot of these things are things that our grandparents did and great-grandparents did whenever, doctors weren't thought of as God or the word per se. So first off, I want to go to Castor Oil. So this is a good brand, or the Home Health is a good brand. So this is a good internal detoxifying thing to use. Edgar Casey talked a lot about it in his readings. So I'll take this one, and you want to make sure it says hexane free. It's important what brand you get, because this is for internal detoxification. So it can help you get rid of infections. It can help heal the gut. It's such a super emulating, powerful topical and internal detoxifier. So it will make you go to the bathroom if you do take too much of it. So you want to limit your usage of it. I can post the link below about castor oil. But this has helped me from anywhere when, kids share drinks, they talk to other kids. So they're prone to getting other things, bacteria, viruses, parasites from other children. This will help get parasites out of your kids. And you can tell by the way they act. They don't sit still. They act really wormy. They scratch their bottom, sniffly eyes, sick all the time. This is antimicrobial, antiviral, so strong antiviral that, in fact, it helps with HIV and other things. I'll post links about this below. It's a very good healer. I've used it for herniated discs, also for releasing tension in muscles, and it pulls out toxins topically. So it also pulls out arthritis out of the tissues when used in fermentation process. And I have another video on that on this channel that you can look into. So, but yes, if you have any questions, just ask me on the link below about castor oil, how to use. You don't want to use it for longer than a week at a time. I usually typically only use it for like 3 days at a time, depending on what you're using it for. So we've had really great results. My kids will typically chase it with juice or their beverage of choice. Or this comes in pill form because it's really thick and it's hard to go down at times. So to move on from castor oil that our elders used, we are going to go to grapefruit seed extract. Whew. Now, this stuff I read about in a book called Cleanse and Purify Thyself, and my dad also used to give it to me as a kid too. It's also an antiparasitic, antiviral, and it is a very good, what is it called, like an antibiotic. You can use it if you have the flu, if you have a virus, or if you are healing for something. It's just a good internal detoxifier, so it's good for cleansing processes, detoxes, parasite cleansing. You can also use it as a vegetable wash because it does cleanse parasites and other viruses. It's good for purifying water as well, which, in my opinion, if we could all use grapefruit seed, that we could purify our water systems with this instead of chlorine, just because chlorine causes cancer and makes humans docile. Anyway, to go a little further, those are some of the major ones. It's typically what I will give my children when they're sick. They see doctors occasionally. Most of the doctors that I send them to are naturopathic doctors anyway, so they don't take a lot of pharmaceuticals, because I've noticed that kids that do take a lot of those sorts of things, it breaks down their immune system with the antibiotics. It depletes your flora in your gut. So I usually have had to, I don't do that with my kids anymore. So we also have a couple of aromatherapy things we'll talk about. So when you hear the word aromatherapy, therapy is correct. The aroma part, it's not so much. So people think, oh, it's this little scent thing that's out there. So much more powerful vibrationally and medicinally speaking that most people think to go about how do I use this in my life. These are ancient peoples used and revered herbs. This is the medicinal part of the plant. So I have two right here with me. I have peppermint and lavender. These are two main basic ones that you can use externally. I'll go into more detail about internal usage of herbs and aromatherapy for the body, for detoxing and healing. So this is just a basic video, kind of get you started on your healing path, get you started on healing and well-being and wellness for emergency things in the home. So for lavender, it's sort of sedating. So if you have a really fussy baby has colic, you can add this. I've added one of my favorites to some shea butter, or you can even add it to some castor oil because castor oil is very healing oil. It's pretty thick. The dilution ratio, you can find some online. I do typically anywhere from 5 to 20 drops, depending on how much I'm using and how strong. You want to just use your intuition, basically. So to go back to the lavender, since it's sedating, it's very calm. It's one of the most easy herbs to use for people. You want to make sure you're getting real lavender. You don't want lavandin. You want the real lavender. I typically will use or Acacia brand or doTERRA or Young Living. Those are a little more expensive. This brand is really good as well. I got at Gardens of the Ancients in Austin, and they have a wide array of aromatherapy that I really liked there. They're not all guaranteed to be organic there, though. So if you're very conscious about organic, doTERRA and or Acacia are a couple of really good brands. And when you go look, if you want to use anything other than peppermint and lavender, smell them. I recommend that you smell them and see how they make you feel, and then do your own research. Like I said, I'll do another video in depth on aromatherapy, and I've been practicing aromatherapy for over 12 years now, and I'm still learning. So there's always something to learn about herbs, gems, aromatherapy. We're always all still learning. So for the lavender, like I said, it's good for babies. It's good for helping good night sleep and rest. You can use it as a massage oil. So around the home, you can use it to just sort of cleanse the energies as well. So dilute a few drops to the strength that you desire. I like using lavender and lemon. You can use just lavender if you want. You can use it as a sheet spray to spray your sheets down for scabies, lice. Just kind of give it a freshener. What I was saying is they have such a high vibrational frequency, and I'll post I'm going to put a chart right here for you guys to see on the frequency, rose being the highest frequency, hertz frequency of essential oils, and then it goes from there. And disease basically starts at about 52 hertz, and then you have death and those sorts of things. So for the lavender, it's good for using as an antiseptic. You can use it on bug bites, or you can use it, it's good for the air. I like to diffuse it. I have a Young Living diffuser, and they have a 1-year warranty. Or you can just get one at your natural store. They usually carry them there as well. So they're a good anti-inflammatory if you have aches and pains. Lavender is a good, just kind of a general sedative. It can help with anxiety and things as well. So when you use it topically. So I typically would recommend you dilute it, but you can use it undiluted. Always dilute on babies with a carrier oil. You don't always have to use it, but I mean, lavender is good for eczema. It's good for so many things. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps the tissues calm down, and then the vibrations at a very high level too. So when you use them, topically they get into the bloodstream, and you get all of these health benefits that it has. So some of the few sedative, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory So it helps relieve some pain and nervous tension as well. So it helps put you in a good mood. So that's for the lavender. So for the peppermint, peppermint is really good for that time of the season where viruses are just in the air. You can diffuse peppermint, and I use it to diffuse when I can see someone is getting the flu or getting a virus coming on, and it nips it. So when I use it in the diffuser, and then we'll also use it like I use a couple of drops. Now, peppermint is highly cooling, so you want to be careful how you use it topically. This kind of does an icy hot feel for you. So it is good for pain, it is good for the back, and it is great for migraines and headaches, and it reduces the fever. So you just want to be real careful when you use it and dilute it with babies and children. It also helps with lice and scabies as well. That is why it's much better to use aromatherapy with your children in your home than it is to use a lot of these unnatural things that we have on the market that really shouldn't be passed because they cause cancer, they cause disease. And I went through this long journey of trying to figure out, well, these pharmaceuticals make me sick, well, they make me ill, and I see my family and they take them, and I want to teach them and help them heal, and I want to help everybody. The big reason why I use natural medicine is because I did take pharmaceuticals and they did make me sick. My doctor told me that they were safe, and I did my own research, and I recommend everybody that takes medicines or pills from your doctor to do your own research to find out, well, does this cause breast cancer? Does this cause other diseases? And so when I found that out, I stopped taking all my pharmaceuticals. I started reading, I started meditating, I started praying and getting my own information. And as soon as you open up to that and you're willing to heal internally and you're willing to do the things that you need to do for your body on a day-to-day basis, like yoga, herbs, clean eating, you do those things, your body will thank you and respond well, and your magnetic field changes and so many wonderful things happen. And God loves it when you take care of your temple, your family, and your home in a spiritual way. So these are sacred practices. You can cleanse your home with these oils as well. You can cleanse your outer temple, and we'll go into more depth about the inner temple. So peppermint. Sorry, I get a little sidetracked from time to time. So peppermint is a very good antiviral, but the reason why I like to diffuse this in the air is because it's a decongestant, it's an expectorant. So any kind of mucus that you have going on, it can help heal that up quickly for you. It gets out the phlegm. It causes the drainage and the mucus to sort of the circulation to go. It's a very cooling, healing, smelling herb. So I like to being a massage therapist for about 13 years, I like to put it on the face cradle face down so that when people are breathing and all the sinus fluids do come forward, it opens up the airways, it opens up the lungs. So this one's a pretty basic one. These are two, lavender and peppermint, a good starting point for anyone who wants to just get into healing and health. So I went over headaches, migraines, it helps with, and another good spot is at the base of the skull. Just again use it on the trigger points and the pressure points, and then it'll just get into your bloodstream that way and help you that way. And so a funny thing too is a lot of times when people smell aromatherapy, they don't realize that they're receiving healing all the time, but their soul knows. And so outside of my office, I've had people just kind of hover, and they don't know why they're standing there, but they're like, oh, it smells so good out here. And I'm like, yeah, you're receiving healing. That's why you can smell it, and they can feel the healing from within. Because when you smell it, it goes into your bloodstream, and whenever you use it topically, it goes into your bloodstream as well. One other thing I was going to say about the peppermint. Peppermint's good for toothaches. It helps with that. It can burn, so watch out in your eyes and don't get it in your eyes. But yeah, more on the peppermint and the essential oils and aromatherapy. They have the vibration. They connect you to the angelic realms as well. So when you're doing this sort of healing, you're connected to higher vibrational frequencies. Have a little bit of bentonite clay. Talked a little bit about it. It's good for internal detoxification. I keep it on hand. It's good first aid to have. I have another video where I go a little bit more in depth about it. It helps clean out viruses, bacteria, parasites as well. But it's sort of drawing in action. So if you have a lot of inflammatory within you or inflammatory on the outside, so it can heal spider bites and it can heal you from inflammation from the inside. So if you're really puffy tissues or joints, this is a really good thing to use. They have it pre-hydrated. I buy it this way just because it's a bit less expensive. And yeah, I use it for my son if he has cheese or something that he's allergic to. He will take this internally and it helps him not have an allergic reaction, and for me as well, because I do get a bit of reaction to certain dairy products and things. This will just help pull out the inflammation. It pulls out viruses. Um, but yeah, so I just want to encourage you guys to really do some research on your own, to use intuition on your body, above all. That society is basically taking fear, doubt, and being uneducated and used to manipulate the population. So I want everybody to be inspired to take care of their own health in their own hands, to prevent cancer in their own hands, that eating non-genetically modified foods, eating organic, eating locally, foraging if you can. I mean, that is an amazing art to harness, and they have a lot of these new foraging gourmet meals people pay a lot of money to do. So, and plus, it's good to educate yourself on the plants, connect with the plants. One last thing I do want to say about these essential oils and essential oils in general. Very, very important. This takes the fear out of medicine. Every plant has a cure. These are the volatile part of the plant. So they heal and they cure disease. There are certain companies that, because of what the FDA does, will not have or allow you to take such things. That infringes on my freedom of speech. That infringes on my human rights. When somebody basically gets some lies so that I'm not allowed to say that something cures or heals. Because if you put that power in the hands of the people, they're no longer subject to the medical system. And our medical system is in due need of some revamping. So I've helped basically the elderly and heal from things that they thought they could not heal from before. Neuropathy, bruising in the tissues so bad from radiation treatments that it was just, the tissues were like a brick. We used in conjunction castor oil, lavender, I think lemon or orange, topical heat therapies with massage, broke those down. We've healed things off the back that have just come off, like these cancerous lesion, because lemon essential oil and orange essential oil are anti-cancer. Bananas, really ripe bananas, are anti-cancer properties. Turmeric root shrinks tumors. I would like for you guys to really be careful what information you read, because I have to oftentimes go to websites from India and Ayurvedic medicine to say, well, does this plant heal the way that I feel like it does heal? Because some of the information coming from the United States is filtered. our government has highly regulated a lot of the information that's out there. So I just really want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you felt that this has helped you, please share or subscribe. But yeah, we have grapefruit seed extract. It's amazing stuff. I'll put a link down for that. We have castor oil, which is a really good ancient healer. It's called the Palma Christi because it is the palm of Christ. The Latin word is Palma Christi because Christ's hands were healing. And this is a very healing oil, and the leaves look actually like the palm, Jesus' palm. Also, we did a little bit about peppermint and lavender. So these are really good just at home to kind of get you started with. Um, they're really great to have if you have family members or just for yourself if you deal with public people at all. But anyway, if you have any questions of dilution ratios or help picking out oils for whatever ailments you may have, please feel free to contact me. I will be doing more readings and consultations and energy clearings soon. That's coming up. And I also do apothecaries. So if you are in need of any specific herbs or things magically, medicinally speaking, feel free to contact me. Thank you guys so much. And visit my Summer Moon page for any more details coming up on Facebook. Take care.